back to part number 23 of my Imperator Rome playthrough as Rome. We just mopped up a Parthian war here, a smaller war here. I'm about to declare war on Taiwan. We're at war here. I'm going to try to mop this whole area up. There's going to be a lot of aggressive expansion. No truce breaks, fortunately. After this whole lot is done, I suspect the truce with Moria will have expired. We have another, I think, 4 years, yeah, until Moria and or Kamarupa can be attacked without a truce break, and then Davidia a year, 1 year after that. After which I think we can send our armies back in this direction. But there's no real rush, as we have 100 years left or more. I'm going to do all that. I'll let you know what happens. We have a civics advance. We've taken this territory here. I suspect we can peace equitably. We can and will. Let's see what we can get for our civics advance, which we're going to use for civics, I think. I see. Well, there's no rush for any of that, but we're after the national tax there, after which I really have no idea what to do. Having just taken this, we're going to have access to the Taiwan city of K here, and unfortunately for me, there are no cities or urban centers in our new territory, and it's, I believe, highly populous. The good news is there's a lot of room in these various Bactrian cities here, and I'm going to move the pops out so that they don't bleed egregious amounts of loyalty. You'll note here that the Bactrian is strongly loyal, so if I mix these guys in with the Hellenes in Bactria, let's see if there are any Romans as yet. There probably, there are starting to pop up here and there from the temples, the grand theaters that I build here in temples. I believe I have both. I don't, because, well, they're already Hellene. Maybe I'll build some temples. Anyway, these pops are coming out and into Oscobara. I don't think there's ever been a better time to declare war here. Let's just do it against that prominence right here. As I was saying earlier, apparently events have conspired to make my play against this this 2-count claim I have against Sumpa here the only one actionable. As I just warred with Taiwan, as Sumpa has claimed this, I can't claim that in a war settlement. And these mountains, the Himalayas, are going to prevent me from accessing Sumpa here. You would think that I would have been able to... actually, no, I can't. No. This city just depopulated. There was only one population there. So if I were not adjacent here, I would not be able to claim through here, and I now can't get at this. So I had no idea about that, but that could make one crazy if one didn't have other options available to go up here and claim down that way. That's why I always I give myself extra time based on, you know, weird stuff that'll happen like that. Boom! Some stability. 6 more. I'm not exactly sure how all of my units became exiled here either, but they seem to be. Oh, I see. There's a revolt here that we are we at war with them as well? Looks as though we are. The last madness like this was in Greece. I think episode 8 or 9. There were all those city-states. This entangles that, entangles this. Food dealings, various major... Anyway, it's challenging to wrap your head around, so again, it's always best to have extra time with this. Looks as though Kucha is in a revolt status as well. So we'll only be able to claim that, and then maybe that. I think we're at war with these guys as well. We are. But I don't think we'll be able to get at the most distal aspect here of Kucha. It'll have to wait, and there's no hurry. There are a lot of vassals around here. Georgia is in the house here. Phanagoria showed up. Sumpa has claimed that part of Taiwan there, so they're even larger than they were. Actually, it'd be best to take them now. I think they break up at some point into a lot of smaller tribes. Then you have to file a claim against all of them. I'm going to try to finish this out as quickly as possible, as if I wouldn't anyway. And then bring all of the legions here in the north to bear on Sumpa and try to annex as much of this as possible immediately. I closed out the peace with Taiwan. This revolt here, this legion is essentially stuck in here now. As the Yuzi and Kucha ceased to be engaged in wars with us because of some sort of civil war mechanic where our original war partner here, Taiwan, came back together after his civil war, and then these said, well, you know, even though you've occupied our territory, we really don't want to be at war with you anymore. I was going to use the consul because I've seen this a couple of times, but I'll stick with, like, you know, quote unquote the real, or so far as that goes in the game here. So there's no rush for it. I just didn't want to come back up and deal with it. I'm not beat on a dead game. So what I'm gonna do is this unit here is exiled. He can't get out because of the diplomatic shenanigan. He's stuck up in here. We can't peace out with this guy and annex any territory directly, so one good exploit deserves another. We're gonna transfer to Georgia here, and then annex it to our soon-to-be integrated vassal. Unfortunately for this unit, there's no real way to get him out. He can't resupply on the food. We just have to disband the unit and create it elsewhere. I'm moving these legions on force marched up here to engage Sumpa expeditiously, so before they break up into many tribes. We're no longer at war. I'm going to disband all of my levies. These pops up in this distal Himalayan area here can get feisty, and there are quite a few of them about. The cities are completely filled. I'm going to move them manually down into some of these open cities down in here, or even here. I'm not sure. I have the money and the inclination. I'm going to do it. I'm broke, but the people are happy, I think, at least. I cleared much of these pops out of here, and nearly completely populated all of these cities, so they should stay happier than not. Certainly more so than if they had remained up here. There's an event that can happen, migrations, and the more I think that you let migrate, the more belligerent they become. The Yuzi, I believe they are, and I don't know whether it's actionable once the Yuzi form or not, but these areas can become extremely overpopulated, and then that doesn't really do much for the loyalty there either, as the wrong pops show up. I think they're tribal as well, I'm not sure, but whatever the case is, they're gone now. They're down in the former Bactrian cities. I think it's a good time to declare war here. We're not in a perfect position, but we're in a good enough position to where we know what's happening and nothing weird, any affiliations, Kampa, Maurya, etc. can't happen. So we're going to begin this invasion immediately. Let's get here. And we just had a couple of claims hit against the newly formed Prachian Empire. We have a fair number there. I think we have a fair number here as well. I'm going to wait. I'm going to improve my wonder that I have in Rome. I believe one of them can be raised to level 4. That's the, I believe the one that gives war score and less conquering traditions. Yeah, less aggressive expansion. I think that goes up to 20, and then the war score goes up to 10%. So we'll probably fare better over the longer term. I just need 6 more PI for that. We just hit oratory advances, and I think that's going to get us our 10% tax. We can take this and then 10% tax. So what is our income presently? 253. Let's see what it is after our tax. $296. We have the 61 and the money. Let's go ahead here and upgrade that so we take less AE from this mostly non-claimed effort we're going to make against Sumpa. There it is, 20 and 10 for 650 and 60. Boom! 3,900 gold. Boom! Our tech is popping again. We're back at 200%. We have one in the bank here. I don't see anything wrong with taking this pop capacity. We could take some more tax, get some wages off. Getting this extra, 25% research at this point is not particularly useful. Can get some tax there. Nothing really here. Pop capacity is nice. I'm going to take it. There's a lot of these cities we're essentially maxed out in. If I click on any given city, I would not be at all surprised if the population were near the maximum. Actually, that's not so much true, but it never hurts. It never hurts. We do have population maxed out around here or close to it. I'm trying to wind down this Sumpa war and get adjacent to Prakya. There's some stragglers wandering around here. I'm going to try to occupy this so that we can indeed continue the chain along here. Presently, we're blocked by this, which is now actionable. We have this and that. The only one is this, and there's a unit forced marching there right now. Let's see that happen, and then we'll be able to close the whole lot, I think. Alright, there it is. It's done, so we should be able to... Peace. Who are you? That's all of it. 41 aggressive expansion, I'll take it. A fracture into quite a few different tribes that can be a difficult challenge to overcome relative to political influence and timeliness. Unfortunately for me, actually not so unfortunately, because I like to move pops about to instill loyalty in provinces that one might otherwise expect would not be particularly loyal. This is a tribe, so I'm gonna populate the cities as best I can, but a lot of these slaves at least are gonna have to be moved down into some of these Mauryan cities. What there are of them, there's some population available capacity here. So I'm gonna move what can be moved out of this area so that it doesn't revolt. And they'll get down here and mix with these not particularly loyal former Maurans, but actually they are quite loyal. That's what I'm going to do. I have 12,000 gold. I'll be back when it's spent. I moved as many pops as possible out of that area. The cities are... they took up most of the population. There's some areas here in the center that don't have any cities that were able to be evacuated via... I think here they can make it by that pass because they're part of the same prominence. About 6,000 gold later, I filled up some of these cities with bonds. There are a few of them about. Sumpas, etc. Not really all that much moving. I note that our peace treaty with Moria here expires in exactly... what is that? September 26th, 3 days. So 1, 2, 3, or 3. And we close that and then open it. We should have... what is that? September 26th. 1, 2, 3. Alright, the peace treaty has expired. We can declare the war. This is as good a provenance as any. It's right there. Let's do it. A little sparse on the legions. I had to delete one up here. But there are a great many vassals about, and I think we should be able to do it without a whole lot of issue, really. 66 or PI here for 10 corruption. I'll take it. I think I'm going to upgrade the retaliation procedures level 4 so we get more reinforcements. There it is. We'll bump that up to 20 and 8. And done. Boom! 8,400 gold for 3 tyranny. I'll take it. Relatively quick and out. I think we have essentially occupied the entirety of the country. Let's see, we'll start as long as it reads Procyon. Okay, so we can have that. That looks like an equitable agreement relative to the aggressive expansion especially. We've taken the port that I'm interested in for fast movement back and forth. Let's do it. Well, this area right here. Ad Indum. Alright, it's increasingly looking like it's just sort of bookkeeping or busy work, sort of mop up or whatnot from this time forward. I think the episodes are going to be considerably abbreviated. There may be considerably less of them, therefore. I mean, taking on Dravidia at this point is a no-brainer. Just how much we're going to be able to annex and how quickly. We have a claim here in Kamarupa. I'm going to drop a claim, you know, whenever against the former Moria here. I'll drop a claim here to mop up, you know, as PI and or manpower, mercs or some such or whatnot become available. But mostly I'm going to take what I can out of Dravidia and then move the majority, the 2/3 of the army back, probably by land, as we have an extensive road system now that I built. Back over to Gaul, or Peri-Gaul or thereabouts, and start triggering these defensive leagues, at which point I'll attack and burn down the aggressive expansion or whatnot. I'm not sure that all of that needs to be narrated in any great detail, as it's essentially, again, just mop up. When that becomes actionable, I'll cue you in, but essentially I think this is over. I'm going to create a time lapse after the series, or after I do the world conquest, and that will be available as well. I'll take some stability here, surely. This vassal here, Rossetti, is going to annex December 1, 626. It's a ways out. There's a revolt going on, I'll just let it happen. Or I'll re-annex it to this vassal as opposed to take the AE myself, I think. Now annexing 633, but no AE for me. Let's take this last tradition here. I think we get a high martial skill person. Alright, so these guys, I think there are 4 legions, 3 legions here. Marched down marched down this slot here, got on the fleet or the boat, and are going to access this aspect of Dravidia. I don't think there's going to be much that happens in this war. There was a revolt in this Phanagoria here. It looks as though this one is the latest to annex. I'm going to take the AE here and 2 AE for why he'll not do it. Let's take it. Stand down my levies and then declare the war on this Dravidia. There's a great deal of bookkeeping that goes on here. It's a lot of governor shuffling and this and that. That's why I'm not particularly exuberant. There's a lot of just little things that need to get done the wider you get. And it's also one of the reasons why I'm not going to narrate it in as great a detail, because I just sort of lose the train of thought as to what's going on from the last narration event, which may be, 50 activities ago or something. So let's start this war. I'm going to start the war with the same war goal as last time, and it's on. Here was a slaughter. Let's see if we can peace out here. And that's 22 left, so we have 1, 2. Let's see. Yeah. We could take some legions here, and they'll take whatever is left of Dravidia. What we need to do now is sail back towards Gaul and leave a sufficient number here. Plus, I could hire 4 mercs and whatnot, so I wonder if I'd really need to leave more than 2 legions here. Well, off we go. Most of the army is departed on the fleet here, headed on our way back. We'll take out the Nabatean revolt in Egypt. And left a couple of legions here, 1 and 2 for Dravidia and a former Moria. And this Campora. And built some roads up here, I guess, just because. We'll mop up this. I have some claims going. I'm maxing out my aqueducts in all the cities that I have up through Gaul in anticipation of a massive influx of pops from the areas I intend to conquer. Between these cities and the movement of the pops out to our mega cities or larger cities here with these aqueducts I'm building, we should be able to maintain a decent loyalty. I'm not going to bother stopping the main army here for the Nabatean revolt. I hired these 2 mercs. I have a couple of mercs headed down for the lower aspect here of Egypt. And I'm going to land a couple of legions here and access that area, and then swing around up here, place some legions there, knock Egypt out, and send, I think, a singular legion up here to mop up these various smaller states. And that should be that for the east, at least the middle of the screen here. Egypt, boom. Nabatean revolt, gone. Couple more Anatolian miners gone here. I hired a few mercs. Let's see, we should be able to peace out. Gone. The army is back, replenishing food in Corsica. Generally, it's ready. I'm going to load them up on the ships and go and engage the coastal cities. There's a few defensive leagues. I'm going to engage 2 of them and essentially take this whole area. I'm going to take the national tax here. Let's go ahead and close this war, or open this war so we can close it. Let's see who's going to be involved here. These essentially up through here, and I may declare another, I'm not sure. Let's just do it. We'll sort it out. Alright, we are engaging these smaller tribes here. I think we can declare this war as well, as we're at war with a great many of them. Yeah, there's a few here. Well, let's just do it. We'll sort it out. The reason I want to get all the wars going at the same time is because it's challenging to gain access. Like, these guys will be stuck here without much of anything to do, so I declared war here and here, so they have something to do, and we'll get all of the aggressive expansion group together, so we should get less when we finally do peace out. We just integrated our vassal. We'll have all of the characters as they're going to be Roman Hellenic. It was the one in the steppe here. I'm going to consolidate the pops in what cities there are, which apparently look to be a few. Defensive League member gone. Defensive League gone. Boom. Bye-bye. Boom. I'm gonna take this I'm gonna take this guy out here just because he's there and he's in the way. Open up a space here. Right here, this unaffiliated, no allies, no defensive leagues. A lot of my units are sitting around idle, and now they have somewhere to go. Boom. One more army off the board. Bye-bye. One more. All the way up the line here for 3 AE. I'll take it. And it looks as though we'll finally have some peace here. 4 AE. Why is that again? Bellicose, my Wonder, High Aggressive Expansion, and the rest. Yeah, that's nice. Boom. So that was quick, and I plan to do much the same up and through here, triggering the defensive leagues and carrying on. So not really all that bad on the stability either. That's going to do it for this episode. I'm going to, consolidate these pops into the coastal cities to try to get some loyalty. I'm pretty sure they're not overly enthusiastic. I hope to see you in the next episode.